Hey, I know you're thinking, didn't you already review Forbes Africa? Yes, I did. But there's a section that starts on page 48 and goes through to page 50 that I said I would reserve for a separate conversation. It's a conversation on higher education. So ABN Group actually had a symposium and a summit about the future of higher education in November last year, 2017. And I was reading this, and as you can see, I have marked it like crazy. You're lucky I didn't have a highlighter. Certain things jumped at me that actually have been bothering me. And one of those was this. There are 4 things about the future of education that we all need to think about in Africa. The first of these is whether the universities as they are today have any future. And I think largely they don't. Universities today largely hold monopolies on the awarding of degrees that they curate, degrees that they shape, degrees that they deliver in different ways, whether electronically or in person. It has nothing to do with whether or not that degree has any use whatsoever in the 4th industrial revolution. Another part I've highlighted in this article is higher education needs to ask itself a question about its role in the changing environment. Will it grow, and how will it invest in society in the process of growing into the 4th industrial revolution? But I think the one that really was a sucker punch into my belly was this. You know, in Africa, we do pride ourselves in the fact that now our classrooms are full and there are more students in school. But apparently we need to get over that particular victory dance because there's a deeper learning crisis. Many students are not gaining basic skills. Some say recent school graduates are not much better off in terms of skills than those who missed school. And I know as a Kenyan, and please comment on this video across the continent and tell me whether you feel the same way. As a Kenyan, I constantly talk about the fact that I'm worried that even when we do realize we need to make change, and I know change is hard, we fight because the status quo feels so good. The former education minister, Fred Matiang'i, had a really tough time just turning the wheels on an obviously rotten, defunct, and in many ways obsolete industry. And since it's very hard for a lot of people to hear someone like me have this conversation, I think it's important you pick up the current issue of Forbes Africa. And if you don't care about the 23 billionaires, I think it's important to look at this part, how to future-proof Africa. It's probably some of the most sobering reading I've done in a very long time. And it brings me to something else. You know, if today you're a parent of a 15, 16, 17, even 18-year-old, you're probably already thinking, what college do I want them to go to? What do I want them to study, and what do they want to be? What will the jobs of the next 5, 10 years look like? And in late 2017, I happened to sit in the back of the room of an amazing discussion called The Future of Education. And one of the many things I left there with was a very powerful point, and it said 65% of the jobs that will be taken up in the next 5 to 10 years don't even exist yet. You heard me right. So when you're thinking about higher education for the continent and for your children, please, by all means, be selfish. Have that conversation understanding that they will not graduate into today. They're graduating into tomorrow. And tomorrow does not look like my today or yours when you graduated from college. I could go on, and I won't. I would rather you pick up this and you debate it extensively no matter where you are on the continent. This is important reading. The billionaires are fine. They are inspirational. But this is our future. And this number might become smaller if we don't fix this. Okay? Subscribe and come back.